So today we are doing the MCQs on CMA Part 2 Section E Investment Decisions, right? So these MCQs I have taken from your IMA study support package. Let's do MCQ number 1. So the question is, capital investment projects include proposals for all of the following except. Okay, so I'm giving you like 30 seconds. So think about it and let me know what you think is the correct answer. So try to use elimination technique, So try to eliminate those options which you think are capital projects. So that's how you can find the correct answer. So what do you think? The acquisition of government mandated pollution control equipment. What they are saying? Equipment, right? So I'm acquiring an equipment. Is this a capital investment project or not? Yes, this is a capital project. Expansion of product, expansion of existing product offerings. Definitely you are expanding. This is also a capital investment project. Okay. Maybe you are uh, increasing the variants of the products, or maybe you are expanding into the new market. Getting it? So both of them, they are considered to be capital investment projects. Research and development, my friends, research and development by itself, it is what? That is a capital investment project, right? So that is a capital investment project, definitely. Because, these mobile phone companies, the medicine companies, right? So when they start these projects, so they have to do a working, right? That what is the cost benefit analysis, how much cost we will incur in this research and what benefit we are expecting. Then only they will start, right or not? Otherwise they will not start, I mean, if they are confused, because a lot of money is involved in research and development. So if you know from your section A, remember we discussed that in IFRS, research has to be expensed out, research expense, but development expenditure you can capitalize, right? On the other side, in US GAAP, they say both of them, either it is a research or a development expense, you have to expense it out. So they don't consider it as a non-current asset when you are creating a balance sheet. But see, here we are not talking about financial reporting. Here we are talking about management accounting. Management accounting internal reporting purpose. So when we are doing these analysis, NPV analysis, payback period, IRR, right? So we will use it definitely when we are doing any additional research or development. Now see, this is additional research and development facilities. Please focus what they are saying. Additional research and development facilities. So from here you can clear your confusion. They're saying we are creating a facility. A facility is like, a building or some space you are creating for doing the research and development. So what is that? Like a lab? Yes, definitely. Okay. So like, in Deep Blue Sea, if you have seen that movie Deep Blue Sea or Deep Blue Sea 2, I think there is Deep Blue Sea 3 also, right? In which sharks they come and they destroy everything, right? So first pass CMA, then watch these movies. Okay. So anyways, what is the answer? If A, B and C, they are the capital projects, so what is not a capital project? Refinancing existing working capital agreements. So that is a financing. That is not capital project. I mean, take it simple. Like, you are going to the bank and you are saying, I have a loan with you. I want to refinance it. Getting it? Maybe, you want to reschedule it. on different terms and different amounts. So that is not a capital project, right? That is a refinancing. So very simple. What is the answer, my friends? The answer is D, because that is not a capital project. Okay, please write yes in the chat box so I can move ahead. Very nice. So question number 2, they are saying you, which one of the following items is least likely to directly impact? Least, always remember these words, least, most, like that they write always. So which one of the following items is least likely to directly impact an equipment replacement capital expenditure decision? So equipment replacement capital expenditure decision. So they are saying which of the following is least likely to affect my decision. Okay, think about it. I am giving you 1 minute for this. I will not speak up so you can focus on it. Okay. So my friends, what do you think? What is the correct answer for question number 2? So people are saying A is the answer, right? Now see, they're saying least likely you will consider that. So let's see A. There's a net present value of the equipment that is being replaced. That is being replaced. You know, the old equipment. So the net present value of old equipment you will least likely consider, right? I mean, that is you will calculate the net present value of the new equipment, not the old equipment. Getting it? So this is most probably this is the answer, which is option number A, right? Let's see why B is not the answer. So they are saying you depreciation rate that will be used. We will use it. Remember we did in the essay questions. We were calculating depreciation, shield, tax shield. Remember all these things. So we have to consider that. The amount of additional accounts receivable, definitely. See, additional anything you have to consider, because that is because of the new equipment, right? New project. Your receivable will increase, your inventory will increase, your payables will increase, you know. So we will look at it. It's coming ahead in the MCQs. So you will see how to tackle them. And then they say the sales value of the asset that is being replaced. Yeah. So definitely you have to consider it. Why? Because that is part of your decision. See, future cost, right? So any future cost you have to consider. So you will sell your old asset, you will receive some money from it, you have to consider that. Okay. So what is the least likely thing? Is the net present value of the old equipment. Okay, please write yes in the chat box so we can continue. Now question number 3, if you see, they are saying you all of the following need to be considered in determining cash inflows from capital investments except. So one of them you will not consider. 3 you will consider, right? So what do you think? This is similar to the first MCQ what we have done, remember? So for question number 3, what is the answer? Okay, so most of you are saying D. Are you sure? Only one person said A. Only one person said A. Think again, my friends. What we will not consider? I just discussed in MCQ number 1, remember? So for the question number 3, A is the answer. A. A is the answer. Because I will not consider the proceeds from financing. Right? Why? Because this is what we already consider when we consider in the discount factor. Remember we take a percentage, the cost of capital. So over there we consider the rate, cost of debt. or cost of equity. So see, read the question again. They say in determining cash inflows. So cash inflow will be what? That will be, the sales during the year, right? The sales which you will get because of that capital investment project. That is called cash inflow, right? Or not? I mean, proceeds are also inflows, but that is not what you will consider in your working, when you calculate the NPV. Remember, we calculated NPV so many times. Did I consider that, okay, this much loan is coming from the bank, so consider it while calculating the NPV? No, getting it? Because that we consider from the discount rate, not within the working of cash flows. Okay, so please write yes in the chat box. Remaining all three things we will consider. Reduction in working capital is a uh, cash flow, definitely. We will see this in the further MCQs. Cash savings on regular expenses, definitely. And salvage value of old machine also you will consider, because that is a inflow because of doing the capital investment. Okay, I hope it's clear with everyone. Okay, let's do question number 4. What they are saying you. Question number 4. Exam technique, first read the requirement. Which ignore tax considerations. Which one of the following 4 alternatives should the controller recommend to the management? So we have 4 alternatives now. Okay. The company won a settlement in a law case, right? This is suit or suite? This is suit or suite? Law suit or law suite? Suit, huh? Very nice. Yeah. But in hotels, what we call it? Sui. Very nice. In hotel, I think we call suite, right? No? Suite. Yeah. Very nice. So, and was offered 4 different payment alternatives by the defendant's insurance company. A review of interest rates indicates that 8% is appropriate for, so 8% is the rate you will use for discounting. That's it. So you have the rate, my friends, and you have 4 alternatives. So one by one we have to calculate for them. Which one of them will give us the highest net present value, we will go for it. Right? This is the decision criteria. So do you have the present value and annuity factors with you? If yes, start calculating it and let me know what do you think is the correct answer. So if I ask you for option A, 135,000 right now, so how much will be the NPV or present value? It will be 135,000, right or not? Because $1 right now is $1. What about B? 40,000 per year at the end of each of the next 4 years, right? So can you write in the chat box this is annuity or not? Remember what is annuity? Annuity means same amount for limited number of years. So okay, 4 years, 40,000, same. This is called annuity. So when annuity is given to you, you can do shortcut. How you will do shortcut? By using the annuity factor. Okay. Otherwise per year you can also do, like we have done in the essay questions. See, 5,000 right now. So this is 5,000. 20,000 per year at the end of each of the next 10 years. 10 years. Getting it? So you will say 5,000 plus 20,000 into annuity factor. So you have to search for the annuity of 8% over 10 years. Getting it? Okay. And in option B, you will look for the annuity 8% over 4 years in that table. Okay. So can anyone tell me quickly in the chat box. How much is the annuity of 4 years over 8% and 10 years over 8%? If you can look at the Excel sheet I shared with you before. Okay, this one, what we have. Remember this annuity table you have? So from here you can search it. So we need 8% and 4 years, right? So 3.312. 3.312. 3.312. So this is the factor for option B, right? Or not? Now go for 10 years. 8% 10 years. So 8% and 10 years. How much? This one. 6.710. 6.710. So 6.710. And then they say 5,000 now and 5,000 per year at the end of each of the next 9 years. 9 years. Plus a lump sum payment of 200,000 at the end of 10th year. 10th year. Getting it? So my friends, 9 years, 8%. How much annuity? 9 years, 8%. I think 6.247. Okay, 6.247. Right? Everyone? I hope you know how to reach there. So 6.247. So 6.247, and this is for the 9 years in total, right? But I need for the 10th year also. For the 10th year, when I'm saying 10th year, what is this? 10th year means I need annuity or present value factor. I need annuity factor or present. Very nice. I need present value factor. So my friends, now you know very well what to do. So what you will do, you will go to the 8%, but now in the present value sheet, and I need the 10th year, because that is a one-time payment which will be in the 10th year. Okay, let's see how much is that. 8% in the present value. See, I am going to the present value table now. So 8% over 10. What is the answer? 0.46. 0.463. Getting it, everyone? 0.463. You can take up to 2 decimal places, my friends. 0.463. Okay. So 0.463. Now it's very simple. You can do one by one and check which one of them is giving you the highest net present value. Yeah, tell me please. Now see, we have won, okay, a case, and we are offered 4 payment alternatives. So they say, Habibi, take the payment, and we are offering you these 4 options. Either take 135,000 right now, or take 40,000 per year for 4 years, or take 5,000 now and 20,000 we will give you for every year up to 10 years, or take 5,000 now, 5,000 will give you for 9 years, and then after 9 years we will give you a total payment of 200,000. Getting it? So if you see overall, maybe you will think, D is the correct answer, because see how much you are getting. Maybe, or you will say C is the answer because so much you are getting, right? Okay, so some people, if they don't know this concept of present value, if they are not risk takers, so they may say, Habibi, give me right now. 135,000 right now is better than later on, right? So they may accept A, but we have to do from a present value perspective. So calculate it quickly please and tell me which option is giving you the highest net present value. Okay, so for B, how much is coming? For B, I am writing here for you. So you have to calculate it for me. A, B, C and D. A is 135, right? So B, how you will calculate for B? You will say 40,000 into 3.312. Okay, do this. How much is coming? 40,000 into 3.312. How much is coming? It's coming 132,480. Okay. So definitely we will not go for B because it is already less than A. So we need something more than A. What about C? So for C, what you will do, you will add 5,000 plus 20,000. You will multiply with what? You will multiply with 6.71. Right? Everyone, please do this with me. So 139,200. How much is coming? 139,200. Right? So maybe we will go for this because this is more than A and B. Let's see for option D. So they say you will get 5,000 plus and again 5,000. So this we have to multiply with 6.247, right? And then again you will get 200,000 and you have to multiply that with 0.463. Okay, so there are three things you have to do in option D. So the answer is how much for option D? For option D, how much is the answer? 128, 835, right? 128, 835. Some people are saying 134. No, please calculate it again. This is, see how you will do this. 5,000, right? Plus 5,000 into 6.247 plus 200,000 into 0.463. So when you do this, you will get 128, 835, which is lower than C. So definitely, what is the answer, my friends? What is the answer? C is the answer. Clear with everyone? Please write yes in the chat box. Okay, very nice. So question number 5, my friends. Question number 5. Very nice question, this one. So they say exam technique, first read the requirement. They say, okay, I hope it's clear with everyone. They say as the company utilizes the net present value method, okay, as the company utilizes the net present value method, okay, so you need to remember which method you will use, net present value. To analyze the investments, the net cash flow for period 3 would be, so we need the net cash flow, and for which year? Year 3. Remember this, huh? So you don't need to work everything for 0, 1, 2, 3. No, only 3. Because this is MCQ and you have 1.8 minutes to solve it. The company needs to add a small plant to accommodate a special contract to supply building materials over a. So we have a contract of 5 years. The required initial cash outflow at 0. Time 0 means right now. So is the examiner asking you for year 0? No, right? So do I need to consider these 3 figures? Tell me in the chat box, yes or no. These 3 figures are relevant for me or irrelevant for me? Okay, so see, by itself, the figures I will not take. But if you remember, when we do the depreciation thing, right? So for that, we have to consider these figures later on, but not now. Okay? Because these figures are at year 0. So by itself, these figures are irrelevant for us. But when we will calculate the depreciation shield, we need these figures. Okay. Okay, tell me one thing. Depreciation will come on which figure? Land, building, or equipment? Which one of them depreciation will come? Or which one of them depreciation will not come? So without reading further, I can say that okay, land is not depreciated, definitely. Okay, so remember that land is not depreciated. So building and equipment may be there, we will see below. The company uses straight line depreciation and will depreciate the building over 10 years. So remember that building is over 10 years and the equipment over 5 years. Okay, and the tax rate is how much? Why you need the tax rate? Remember from essay questions, we need to calculate the tax shield, because tax people, they allow you depreciation as an expense. So that is a plus figure which you will write in your cash flows. Okay, getting it everyone? Okay, now say this: revenues from the special contract are estimated at 1.2 million annually. This is relevant or irrelevant? This is relevant for me because they say 1.2 million annually you will make. Cash expenses how much? So see, I am calculating my net cash flow. I am calculating my net cash flow. So the first one, which is my cash flow, cash inflow basically, what is that? 1.2 million, right? Minus 300,000. So every year I will make this money, right or not? How much is coming? 900. How much? So every year you are making how much? 900. Okay, see, this is before tax, huh? So when we calculate the net cash flows, we do it after tax. Remember from essay questions? So how much is the tax rate? How much is the tax rate, my friends? 40%. So 40% I will not get, right? Because tax people, they will take the money from me. So how much I will get? Getting it, everyone? So how much I will get? It's like profit after tax, you can say. Remember, profit after tax? It's not a profit, by the way. It's cash flow after tax. But the way we calculate it, you can remember the income statement format in your mind. Okay, till here everything is okay. Please write yes in the chat box. Okay, very nice. So let's move ahead. Now we have to take into account depreciation shield. They say at the end of 5th year, the sales values of the land and building are 800 and 500. I don't care. I don't care. See, this is irrelevant for me, right or not? Because I am concerned with year 3. So something they are telling me about year 5, I don't care. Getting it? So don't waste your time in these figures. Then they say it is further assumed the equipment will be removed at a cost of 50 and sold for 300. Can anyone tell me when they are talking about? When this will be done? The equipment will be removed at a cost of 50 and sold for 300. When this thing will happen? After 5 years. Excellent. Getting it? So again, is this relevant for me? Is this relevant for me? No. Very nice. So what's relevant for me here is two more things. What are two more things? The tax shield on building and the tax shield on equipment. Getting it, everyone? The tax shield on building and the tax shield on equipment. Can anyone tell me how to calculate the tax shield from your previous classes? We discussed already. We have done around 5 essay questions. So you should know how to calculate the tax shield. Very simple. How much is the tax? How much is the depreciation per year? Very simple. How much is the depreciation per year? for building? 2 million, right? How many years? 10 years. So you will say 2 million divided by 10 years, right everyone? Because straight line, remember they said straight line method. Okay, so now this is depreciation per year, I think around 200,000 per year, right? How to calculate the tax shield? I will multiply with 40% or 60%. Remember, it's called I mean, how much tax shield I will get? It means tax will not be applied on this figure, right? So very simple, I will multiply this with 40%. So this is your second thing. What is the third thing? 3 million divided by 5 into 40%. Okay. So can you tell me how much is the answer when you add these three things together? So I think this is, you can tell me the total directly, no problem. I think this is 540, right? And this one is how much? This is 80. And this is how much? 240. So total how much? Which option is correct? B is correct, right? What is correct? B is correct. This one. So please write yes in the chat box so we can move ahead. Very nice. Okay, let's do question number 6. They say you after tax operating cash flow for the first year of the project would amount to how much? First year. Okay. Like in the previous question, we were doing the third year, now the first year. And we need after tax. The company is analyzing a capital investment project. The new equipment is required by the project and will cost $350,000 with $25,000 installation and transportation costs, right? Okay, remember from your financial reporting concepts, the every cost which is incurred in bringing the asset to its current location and condition, we include in the cost of the asset. So if it is installation cost, transportation cost, all these things we will include in the cost of the equipment, right or not, my friends? Getting it? But please note that they are not asking for year 0, because see, this equipment cost is in year 0, but it will come ahead in the further MCQs. So there you need to remember this. So the equipment cost is 350 and 25 is the installation cost. So total is 375, right? So if you need to calculate depreciation, you will calculate on 350 or 375. Very nice. We will calculate on 375. Okay. Then they say, okay, there is some technical terminology coming ahead now. Please focus. They say a 5-year MACRS. I think this is some disease name, right? Okay, this is not a disease name. Actually, please write it, the full form of MACRS. Okay, that is called Modified Accelerated Cost Recovery System. Okay, I'm not writing here. and even you don't need to know the full form, but just write it. Modified accelerated cost recovery system. Now what is this system? If you remember, CMA, actually this is a US based qualification. So the US taxation authorities, they use this system when they are giving you the tax shield on depreciation. Getting it? So for example, you are saying I want to depreciate my equipment 5 years. Okay, straight line. They will say no. From our perspective, this type of equipment will be depreciated on this basis. The first year you depreciate 20%, the second year you depreciate 32%, the third year you depreciate 19.2%, like this. Getting it? So basically what is this? In short, these are tax department depreciation rates, which you have to use when you will calculate the tax shield, right? If it is given, definitely, like it is given in this question, so you have to consider it. Okay, like in previous question they were saying straight line, so we use straight line. If they say MACRS, this one, we will use this, no problem. If they say use declining method, we will use declining method. If they say use double declining method, we will use double declining method. If they say use sum of year digit method, we will use sum of year digit method. Getting it? So all these depreciation methods are covered in your section A. Okay. So they say with a half year convention. Okay, remember this also. First of all, you remember what is this thing, and then remember what is half year convention. Half year convention means they say assume that all property acquired is in the middle of the year. Okay, so for example, you acquired something in the month of Feb. So they say no, we will assume you acquired it on 30 June. Getting it? So this is the assumption. If you remember from your previous accounting studies, maybe sometimes depreciation we say okay, we will take full depreciation in the year of purchase and no depreciation in the year of sale. Okay, write yes in the chat box if you remember this concept. We take full depreciation in the year of purchase and no depreciation in the year of sale. Getting it? Or vice versa. You say we take no depreciation in the year of purchase and full depreciation in the year of sale. Like this, so these are different types of assumptions in accounting. Okay. So anyways, so we will see further. Existing equipment with a book value of 200,000 and an estimated market value of 100,000 will be sold. See, for existing equipment, how much is the book value? This much. How much is the market value? This much. It will be sold immediately after you install the new equipment. Very nice. When you will install the new equipment, my friends, in year 1, we are talking about first year, right? So you will install the equipment in first year or year 0. So when they are saying the new equipment is required, so we are talking about year 0. So this point is relevant for me or irrelevant for me, that they are saying me, book value is 200, estimated market value is 100. It will be sold immediately after you install the new equipment. So when this is happening in year 0. I don't care. Getting it? For this MCQ, I don't care this. Okay. Annual incremental pre-tax cash inflows are 175,000. So this is every year you will get, but pre-tax. What is the requirement? In the first year, how much is cash flow? So the first thing you have to consider is what? The cash flows, right? The cash inflows. How much are the cash inflows which you are getting every year? 175,000. So this definitely you have to consider. But see, this is pre-tax. This is what? Pre-tax. You need to do what? After tax. So how to convert it into after tax, you know very well, right? I need to look for the tax rate. How much is the tax rate? This one. So what is, I will multiply this with 40% or 60%. Very nice. How much? So this will become 105. Okay, very nice. Okay, what is the second element I have to consider? If you say I don't have to consider anything further, so answer is A. If you see option A is 105. Okay, but you have to consider one more thing. Remember, that is called depreciation tax shield. So how to calculate the tax shield on depreciation? Right, so for this thing, you need to remember the first point I told you. How much is the cost of the asset you are purchasing? 350 or 375? Okay, for which year you are calculating the tax shield? For the first year. For the first year, what percentage they have given you? Okay, when you calculate the tax shield, you multiply with the tax rate or you take the remaining part like 60%. So when you calculate the tax shield, you multiply with the tax rate, which is 40%. How much? So this will become 30,000. Very nice. So how much is the total amount? This is your answer. 135. Which option is correct? C is correct. Please write yes in the chat box. So interesting or not? And I mean this is easy or difficult? Easy or difficult, my friends? So people are saying interesting, very interesting. So I will also say very nice. Ah, really? Did you revise the essay questions? Uh, so please revise it. If you revise the essay question and you read the book, then it will become easy for you. Okay, I know it's a little bit technical, but you have to revise the uh, essay questions we have done. Do them again 2-3 times and read the book. Okay, and then it will just become a piece of cake for you. Really, trust me, this part, this investment decisions, this is very easy topic, extremely easy topic, because you know everything is straight to the point, not like decision analysis. In decision analysis topic, you have to think a lot, you know, getting it? Very nice. Okay, 20% I took from here, my friend. This is 20%. They told you, right? That how much is the depreciation for the first year? 20% from here. Okay, because I'm doing for the first year, right? See, first year. So first year 20%. If they say second year, I will take 32%. If they say third year, I will take 19.2%, like this. Okay, so let's continue. 7. Annual after tax cash flows for the project would amount to annual after tax cash flows for the project would amount to the company is considering the acquisition of a new computer machine tool to replace an existing model, outdated. Project annual savings how many? 28,400. Annual depreciation of the new machine will be 16,000. Annual depreciation of the old machine is 1600. Tax rate 40%. So I am giving you 1 minute for this. Try this one. Okay. So question 7 we are doing, my friends. So some people are saying D, some people are saying C. Let's see if it is D or C. Now see, first of all, you know very well that I take this annual cash flow, which is the 28,400, and I need to make it after tax. So I will multiply with 40% or 60%. 60%, right? Very nice. The second thing I need to do is I need to take the depreciation tax shield. Okay. Okay, this question is a little bit tricky. So they are giving depreciation for the new machine as well as the old machine. Getting it? Okay. Now you need to make sure that you don't forget this point, because here they are saying we are acquiring a new computer to replace an old model. Okay, so definitely you will dispose of the old model or not when you will purchase the new computer equipment. So some students will think that we will consider the tax shield on 16,000 into 40%, right? But we will not consider the tax shield on the old machine. Getting it, everyone? So what do you think? We will consider the tax shield on the new machine only, or we should also consider the tax shield on the old machine also? One thing, remember, I will tell you. The tax shield which you will not get by selling the old machine, what is that? What we call it? The tax shield which you will not get by selling the old machine. Okay, now what happens is, normally, if you remember in the previous questions, they were saying, okay, we will acquire a new equipment, building, machinery, and the previous we will sell, right? We will sell. So that you are selling immediately, right? Getting it? So there is no further depreciation of that equipment which you sold immediately when you acquired the new machine. Think about it. Now see, one more thing. Assuming you have a laptop right now, okay, maybe you purchased 2 years ago. Now that laptop, assuming, has a life of 5 years, okay, so you have used for 2 years, 3 years remaining or not? 3 years remaining, right, for your current laptop. So isn't it your opportunity cost which you will lose if you purchase a new laptop? So the depreciation shield which you would have claimed for those 3 years, you will lose, right or not? Tell me in the chat box. Again, the depreciation shield for those extra 3 years which I would have got, see, this is assuming, you are assuming, see, I'm losing it. So when you say I'm losing it, what is that called? That is called opportunity cost. What is that called? Opportunity cost. Getting it? So opportunity cost, always remember, that is a relevant cost. We have to consider it while we are making the decision. We have to consider it while we are calculating the cash flows. Okay? So we will also consider the depreciation shield of the old machine. Okay, now tell me how much is the answer. Which option is correct? Question number 7, D is the answer. D. All of you are getting D? It should be D. Okay, please write yes in the chat box if all of you got the point. Okay, so my friends, if you compute it, you will get this answer, 22,800. Okay, but make sure to deduct this opportunity cost, which is on the old machine. Okay. So question number 8, we have, in a capital budgeting analysis, what is the cash outflow at time 0? Now see, they're saying time 0. time 0 right now, initial investment. Okay, that BEL should use to compute the net present value. The company has a new project available which is expected to generate annual sales of 200,000 units for the next 8 years and then be discontinued. Okay, 8 years, 200,000 sales. New equipment will be purchased for how much? This much. How much to install? This much. So we will include it or not? Definitely, we will take it. The equipment will be depreciated on a double declining basis over its useful life. Okay. I hope you remember what is double declining basis. So if you remember the declining basis, so we use a percentage. Okay, like 20% for example. So every year you multiply that with the first year you will multiply the percentage with the cost to calculate the depreciation. But next year you apply the percentage to the net book value. This is called declining method, right? If you need to convert the declining method into double declining method, so you will double the percentage. So for example, previously the percentage of depreciation was 20%. Now it will be 40%. This is called double declining basis. Okay. It's just about doubling the percentage of depreciation. At the end of the 8th year, 50,000 to remove. Do I need to consider this figure? No, because this is end of 8th year. Right now I am talking about only year 0, which can be sold for 150. I don't care. Again. So double every year. No, see. Yeah, of course. I mean the percentage is 40%, right? So first year you apply 40% on the cost. Second year you apply 40% on net book value. Third year again you apply 40% on net book value, like that. Instead of 20%. Getting it? This is called double declining method. Additional working capital of 400,000 will be required immediately. See, whenever they say immediately means right now, 0. Needed for the life of the product. Annual indirect costs will increase by 300,000. Annual, huh? So year 0 we will consider this annual cost increase. Tell me in the chat box. No, right? That will come from year 1. Okay. Effective tax rate is 40%. Very nice. So for year 0, very simple, you have to do the working. You will say, okay, right now I am purchasing the equipment for how much? 1600, right? Plus 200 installation cost, right? Year 0, no need to multiply with present value factor, remember. Because right now the factor is 1. Okay. So anything further to add? Here, remember this immediately thing I told you. So will we add the additional working capital or not? Also, yeah, you have to add it. That is part of your initial investment. Getting it? So total will become how much? 2200. So the answer is D. Please write yes in the chat box. Yeah, tax is not relevant here. Initial investment. See, they are asking initial investment. Tax will come in when you will go in the first year. You will say, okay, how much I am making the money, and tax will come there, right? Very nice. Okay, do this one, please. Question number 9. Question number 9, my friends. What is question number 9? They say total after tax cash outflows occurring in year 0 would be year 0 again. See, the company is analyzing a capital investment project using discounted cash flow analysis. The new equipment will cost this much, so we need this. Okay. Installation this much, so we need this also. Right or not? Existing equipment will be sold immediately after installation of the new equipment, and the existing equipment has a tax basis of 100,000 and estimated market value of 80,000. Right? So my friends, tax basis means net book value. So the equipment has a net book value of 100 and you will sell immediately. See, you are selling immediately, means zero, year zero. So you have to consider it or not? Very nice. So can you tell me, I am making a loss on disposal or a gain on disposal? Because see, the tax base means the net book value is 100 and I will sell it for how much? 80. So how much loss I am making? 20. So taxation people, they will give me benefit for this or not? For this loss? They will give me benefit. So when you will calculate the cash flows, you will add it because benefit will come in. It's like a tax shield. Okay. Tax shield on loss on disposal. Getting it? Like we take tax shield on depreciation. Now this is tax shield on loss on disposal. Okay. So let me write first of all, the first thing we need is 250 plus 25. This is your cost of the asset. The second thing is your 20 loss on disposal, right? 20 loss on disposal. This is how much tax shield you will get, remember? How much percentage? 40%. Okay, this is the tax shield on loss. Okay, loss on disposal. Okay, what about this 80,000? Where this 80,000 will go? This market value of 80,000. This is inflow or not? You will sell the asset, right? Getting it, my friends? So see what they are saying. The requirement is cash outflows. So that will be a combination of some inflows and outflows. Getting it? So it's like cash flow statement. Remember cash flow statement? So some things will be minus, some things will be plus, and you will get net cash from operating activities, net cash from financing or used in. Remember? Very nice. So this is negative or positive? This is negative. 275 because you have to purchase the machinery, equipment. This tax shield, which will be 8, this is positive or negative? Okay, remember this is on loss. So this is for you, right? This is for you. So benefit for you, positive. Very nice. What is the third thing? This 80,000. This 80,000 thing which you will get. This is positive or negative? Positive. Very nice. Okay. I'm just writing here the sale of old machine. Okay. Then these are proceeds, 80,000 proceeds, which if you remember we used to write in investing activities, proceeds from sale of property, plant, equipment. Remember? The company estimates that the new equipment capacity will generate additional receivable and inventory of 30,000. Okay, go back to your cash flow concepts and tell me when receivable and inventories will go up, what will happen to cash flow? When receivables and inventory will go up, what will happen to cash flow? It will go down. Very nice. It will go down because increase in inventory and receivable is decrease in cash. Okay. So if I just write here working capital, okay, this is working capital adjustment where you have three things: receivable, inventory, payable, right? So additional, okay, so I will say minus 30, right? Why minus 30? because 30,000 is increase in receivable and inventory. So minus 30. Okay. Then there's a payable will increase by 15. Increase in payable is increase in cash or decrease in cash? Yes. So see, payable are increasing by 15 and receivable and inventory is also additional, means increasing by 30, right? So net of this is working capital adjustment. So when payable will go up, what will happen to cash flow? It will increase because payable is going up, right? Payable, when payable go up, it means what? See, payables are increasing. Why? Because I didn't pay them. Very simple. Why payable will increase? Because I am not paying them. So when I will not pay them, what will happen to my cash flow? It will increase, right? Yeah, we are holding the cash. So plus 15. So minus 30 plus 15, how much? This is your working capital adjustment, minus 15. Okay. So if you want to write in bracket, you can write in bracket also. So my friends, anything remaining? Or we are done with it? Okay, they say annual pre-tax cash inflows are estimated as 75. This is not relevant. Why? Because this will come from year 1. We are talking about year 0 right now. Getting it? So right now, is there anything else we need to consider? Yes, my friends. I don't think so. Because we have seen the initial investment, we have taken the tax shield on loss on disposal, we have taken the proceeds of sale of old machine, we have taken the working capital adjustment, everything. Okay. So how much is my answer net off? It should be 202. How much? 202. So they are asking that we are calculating for year 0, why we need to consider the new equipment. Of course, Habibi. I mean new equipment when you are purchasing, in year 0 or not? New equipment when we purchase, right now. That is the first thing which is happening, right? From next year, we will start generating inflows. Year 0, we are purchasing the machine, installation, delivery, everything, selling the old machine. Okay? It's clear? This is we are doing now for so many MCQs. We did the same thing, right? Year 0, we are purchasing the machine right now. Okay? Which we did in this previous question, remember? When we purchased this equipment for 1.6 million. So that is year 0, right? Then you took the installation cost. Then you took the working capital adjustment also. Like that. Okay? Okay, let's do question number 10. The overall impact of the working capital investment analysis is how much? So they say the company is considering the acquisition of a new technologically efficient packaging machine at a cost of 300, right? So the equipment see, this is not working capital, right or not? This is working capital. I mean the acquisition of the machine is not working capital. Working capital is what? Receivable, inventory, payable. Okay, so this is irrelevant for me, this 300,000. The equipment requires an immediate fully recoverable. Remember this, fully, whenever they use this word fully recoverable, it means whatever money you will put into working capital right now, at the end of the project, you will recover it. Okay. So investment in working capital, how much? 40,000. So they say 40,000 you invest right now as a working capital. At the end of this project, you will recover 40,000. Okay. How many years? 5 years. What is the tax rate? 40%. What is the discount rate? 12%. We need NPV. I mean, the company is using NPV. We don't need NPV. They say, what is the overall impact of working capital investment? What you will take in NPV analysis? Very interesting question. Good concept for you. So can you tell me at year 0, how much I am paying for working capital? Right? So I think this is 40,000, right? So 40,000 is equal to 40,000. No need to multiply with any discount factor. Year 5, what will happen in year 5 relating to working capital? This 40,000 will come back to me or not? Right? So why minus 40,000? Or you can say minus 40,000 here plus 40,000 here. Effectively 0. But effectively 0 without considering the present value. Right? So we need to consider the present value factor. Can anyone tell me how much factor will be there at 12% over 5 years? 12% over 5 years, which we will multiply with this one. So they are saying 0.567. Let us see. So we need at how much percentage was that? 12% 5 years. 12% 5 years. 0.567. Okay, you can take up to 3 decimal places. 0.567. Okay, so let's multiply this with 0.567. So you will get the answer. How much? It will become 22,680, right? 22,680. So can you please net it off with minus 40,000 and tell me how much is the answer? It should be 17 something, right? It will be 17320 in minus, right? So what is the answer? Getting it, everyone? 17320. This is the answer. It's clear with everyone? So see, basically you are losing this much overall for working capital over 5 years. You will lose this much because even if you invest 40,000 right now and after 5 years you recover 40,000, it doesn't mean that you have not lost anything. You lost it because of the time value of money. You lost how much? $17,320 you have lost. This is the overall impact of working capital investment if we do NPV analysis in this situation. Getting it? So this is the conclusion of question number 10.